Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News. A lot of great stories in today's episode. The first of which is one I want to talk about, a huge story we've not heard about ever in CSGO, and that is someone actually going to jail after stealing CSGO skins. So I do want to give you guys some more inside information about this. If you guys have not seen the article, I'll link it down below for all of you. It is a Chinese article, but of course you can try and translate it. Thanks to Raffle Monster as well as Drone, who are acquaintances inside the CSGO trading scene, especially in the Chinese area. They gave me more details on this case to share with all of you. A very, very weird case here because if you guys do not know, in the Chinese scene, especially just in China in general, things like virtual crimes are pursued a lot more heavily than they are in America or any other country in the world. So we have cases that are very similar to this, not to involve people like MoTV or T Martin or Syndicate or Josh OG or other people out there. You guys know there have been several CSGO scams out there, Phantom Lord also included, but they've never really been fully pursued legally. Yes, they've been attempted to go to court, but nothing's ever really come of it. But in the Chinese scene, a lot of these things are pursued a lot more heavily, and we do have a kid going to jail for this, allegedly after scamming nearly $100,000 in skins from a much older Chinese trader. Now, as of right now, both these sources, the guy who actually did the scam himself of around $100,000, we're going to refer to him as Crown, and the guy he actually scammed, another Chinese man high up in the trading scene. These are very wealthy guys. We're going to refer to him as QKSS. So again, thank you to my inside sources who shared this with me. If you guys really want to know, both these guys are high tier traders, and they're actually acquaintances and friends of each other. So Crown and QKSS have met online. They've been in the CSGO scene for a couple of years now, and Crown himself has often asked these other high tier traders to borrow their items and then giving them back. You know, they like to share their high tier items, and again, all of these people are innumerously wealthy, so of course it makes sense they're going to trade items back and forth. But allegedly one day, very, very recently, he asked his friend QKSS for a lot of high tier skins, a lot of value with those skins, and allegedly he actually never gave them back. Some of those items disappeared altogether, others were actually sold off, and he has now been put in jail, or allegedly going to be put in jail and taken to court for this. And again, like I've said before, other countries out there, this kind of stuff floats under the radar. It's never really pursued, but this kid, as Crown, is potentially going to jail for this crime, and as of right now, we don't know any further details. It does seem pretty heavily against him that he did actually take those items from a friend, sold off some of them. Other ones, we don't really know where they are as of right now, which is kind of suspicious because those items that were actually taken were very, very high tier skins, very rare skins, so it seems they might have been taken away from other traders as well. We're going to see who is involved in the future, but yes, for the first time ever, we've had someone actually go to jail for stealing in CSGO, and that is an insane thing to hear about. I do kind of feel bad. I guess not really feel bad, but imagine this kid is now going to spend the rest of his life in a cell for taking virtual items from a friend. So I guess there's another reason out there not to trust anyone you meet online. I like to think that I could trust a lot of you guys with that kind of money, but really, if you have $100,000 in skins, don't give it to anyone you've ever met online. Even if you don't know, even if you know them in person, don't risk it, guys. On top of that, though, we have a more disappointing story here on CSGO News today. We have Millennia Milioti. She's actually a pro player for the team known as Do You Even. She plays alongside other female pro players, one of them being Foxglove, very well known because she married Guardian. Yes, many of you guys know now, FaZe Guardian. She married him a few weeks ago. The little photo booth on screen for all of you. But she came out in the news today because she actually targeted WESG and actually brought something to light that was very, very serious. She tweeted out this and targeted them because she thought she was being sexually discriminated against away from WESG tournaments. If you guys do not know, every single year we have 2 WESG tournaments, one for all females, one for all men, and the all men tournament usually is a single nationality teams, which means if you have an all Estonian lineup or an all whatever country you come from lineup, every single player on that team has to be from that same nationality. It's a very fun tournament to watch, usually a $100,000 prize pool for the men's side, but this year they're changing things up. They're having an all-female team league, and on top of that, a mixed league, so men can play with women in the mixed league, which was technically used to be the old all-men league. So on top of this, we have teams trying to enter both tournaments, and apparently Millennia was actually turned away from a lower level organizer. Now, what I want to summarize here is really quick. It seems to be a misunderstanding. She actually tweeted out this, the situation was resolved, but the fact that she made the tweet in the first place saying that they didn't want her because she was a woman really brought a lot of rise to the situation, and I want to urge you guys right now, I've done things in the past, a lot of people out there have done things in the past, do not ever get hot-headed, think things through, because when she put that tweet out there, she put WESG on the line, their credibility on the line, even though it seems as of right now, one of the organizers or a lower level manager inside WESG turned her away initially because they misunderstood the rules and the new rule book that said that women can now play on men's teams, and that's why she was turned away. As of right now, I think her team will be participating. I've yet to reach out to her to actually confirm this, guys, but please don't ever rush anything. Don't ever target organizers because they're sexually discriminating you when they weren't actually a thing. As of right now, we actually think it was just a misunderstanding of the rule book, so it does seem Millennia will actually be playing at WESG, and it was not because she was a woman. It was a misunderstanding there. So just, yeah, next story. And then 2 other CSGO news stories out there. We do have Fish on screen. If you guys remember him from a couple weeks ago during the CIS shuffle, he was the guy tweeting out about a lot of things things about HR and Na'Vi and Gambit. He's also a close friend with Zeus and works with him for the Pro 100 team that Zeus is the president of. Now, it does seem though that Gambit Gaming has kicked a fish from their organization. No one knows as of right now as to why he did leave this reply though, so apparently it was on his fault. We don't know if he's going to go to Na'Vi and rejoin up with Zeus, but as of right now, he is out of a job. The once leaker is now jobless, still working for Pro 100 though as a manager over there, as well as PR. Now, on top of that though, even more importantly, for all you OpTic fans out there, we do have ESL finally announcing something very important. We knew they had an all-European roster, and they were still in the North American side of Pro League, which is kind of advantageous for them and somewhat unfair for other teams there, but it seems that ESL is giving them one stretch of the rule and one last actual peak here because they've given them a transition period. That is until August 31st, so in just 5 to 6 days time, they have to give them enough paperwork to prove to ESL that a majority of their team, and if not the whole team, will actually be moving to North America for the remainder of the Pro League season, and this seems like a huge stretch of the rule book. Many of you guys know in the past, we judge a roster's organization where they come from based off where the roster players are originally birthed. So that means, you know, if you have an American player out there, they usually are born in America or Canada. That's what makes them a North American team. If they have at least 3 players from North America or Canada, that's what makes them an American actual lineup. Now, on top of this, though, ESL is stretching the rulebook a little bit, and so that means that Alu, Magis, Freiburg, alongside that, Mixwell, of course, already in North America, and whoever their 5th member is, they're actually going to require these people to be living in North America throughout the remainder of Pro League, or at least a majority of it, to actually classify them and permit them to play in the North American side of things. And this means, if you guys do not understand this, this means that those 4 players, whoever they pick up as their 5th, alongside Alu, Magis, Freiburg, and alongside Mixwell as well, they actually have to go all the way from wherever they're living to North America. And that's a huge transition, especially when it comes down to it only being for ESL Pro League. Other organizers out there aren't going to require these guys to live in North America because they'll be in the European side of things most often. But if this transition does go through, the real question will be, will OpTic be a North American team permanently for all their tournaments? And will these guys actually want to move to North America just to compete in the North American side of ESL Pro League? And that's in huge news. Wait 5 days, guys, and we'll find out if Alu, Magisk, and also alongside that Freiburg, if they actually want to move to America, to that nice OpTic gaming house down in South Texas to actually compete in ESL Pro League. We'll find out if they want to, and if not, they'll forfeit their matches. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of CSGO News. Thank you all for the great support as of late. Thank you to my sponsors, Ninja Swap, as well. Please leave a like down below, or more importantly, leave a comment. I have all day today to actually reply to your guys' comments, and thank you all for the great support on last night's live stream. That was pretty fun, so thank you guys for being there, and as always, I'll see you guys in a couple days or tomorrow, and that's my outro. See you guys. Bye.